solving equations with brackets in them, but not with x on both sides here in this video. That'll be in another video. Equations with brackets in them. We've solved equations. There have been a couple of videos about just solving simple equations. Here are some equations. Here's an equation with brackets in it. Let's take 3 open brackets x minus 2 equals, let's say 24. Okay. How do you solve an equation with brackets? Well, you multiply out the brackets and solve the equation in the way that you've already learned. So, how do we multiply out brackets? We multiply whatever's in front of the brackets by everything that's inside the brackets. We take 3 times x, and we multiply 3 by, not 2, by minus 2. And let's do that. 3 times x is 3 lots of x, 3x, and 3 times minus 2 is minus 6, so that gives us 3x minus 6 equals 24. And there we have an equation that I think you can solve. We'll get rid ourselves of the minus 6 first of all by adding 6. If we add 6 on one side of the equation, we do the same on the other to keep it balanced, which leaves us then with 3x on the left and 30 on the right. And if 3 lots of x equals 30, then we'll divide both sides by 3 to find out what 1 lot of x is. And therefore 1 lot of x will be 30 divided by 3, which is 10. That's how you solve an equation with brackets in it. You multiply out the brackets and then solve the equation in the time-honoured fashion. Let's do another one. Let's have x on the other side this time. And numbers at random, 5 brackets, x plus 4. Here we go. Yeah, cool. That's a nice one, I like that. So, multiply out the brackets. 5 times x is 5x, easy peasy. And 5 times plus 4 is plus 20, right? So 5x plus 20 equals 21. Get rid of the 20 by taking it away from both sides of the equation to keep it balanced. 21 minus 20 on the left is 1, and on the right, 5x. 5 lots of x equal 1. How do we find out what 1 lot of x is? Well, we divide both sides by 5. So here's an interesting one. 5 divided by 5 over here is 1, so that's 1 lot of x. X apparently equals 1 divided by 5. What's 1 divided by 5? Well, this is why we write out our division sums as fractions, because when you look at that, 1 divided by 5, you can see the answer is 1/5, isn't it? 1 divided by 5 is 1 over 5, or 1/5. If you're feeling clever, you could say it's 0.2, but there's absolutely no need to try and impress anybody like that, because 1/5 is 1/5 is 1/5. And that's a perfectly sufficient answer. Once again, it's possible that your x could be negative in value. Here's another situation which brings into play something else that you will have learnt about already in terms of algebra and equations. Here's an equation with brackets. 3 brackets, let's have y this time for the sake of argument. 3y, brackets y minus 4. Let's have something else, plus 5. Let's have that. Equals 9. There we go. So, multiply out the brackets. 3 times y is 3y. 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. Don't forget, you've still got that plus 5. Just bring it down. Just bring it down. It's not part of the brackets, so it doesn't get multiplied out. It's just something that we deal with actually now that we've done the other bit about multiplying the brackets. Because now we can do something we've done before, which is collecting like terms, isn't it? We've got a minus 12 there and a plus 5 there on the same side of the equation, in the same expression. And we can collect those together, can't we, before we go any further. So, what is minus 12 plus 5? Well, I reckon minus 12 plus 5 is minus 7. That makes our life a little bit easier, doesn't it? Because now we can just add 7 to both sides to rid ourselves of it. To leave ourselves with 3y equals 9 plus 7, which is 16. Divide both sides by 3 to find what 1 lot of y is. Y is equal to 16 divided by 3. How many 3's go into 16? 5 3's are 15. So remainder 1. Remainder 1 over the number we're divided by 5 and 1/3. There we go. So, one more. 7 minus 4, open brackets, 2a, minus 11 equals 42. There we go. I'm making that as I go along. Interesting. Alright, feel free to pause this video at any stage, by the way, and test yourself before playing on to see if you've got the right answer. Here we go. What's the first thing we're going to do here? And if you're saying to yourself, I'm going to do 7 minus 4 first, and then multiply the brackets by 3, you've made a mistake, haven't you? You've not followed big maths. Because we've got 2 things to do on the left-hand side here. We've got to multiply out the brackets, and we've got to do 7 and take away something. And BibMath says we do any multiplying that we have to do before we do any subtraction, don't we? So we'll deal with our 4 open brackets 2a minus 11 close brackets before the 7. So we'll just bring that 7 down there, and we'll deal with it in a second, okay? And now we're going to multiply everything in the brackets by, not 4, but in fact, minus 4. So what's minus 4 times 2a? Minus 4 times 2 is minus 8, and negative times a positive to negative. So minus 8a. And minus 4 times minus 11, we're multiplying 2 negatives here, so our answer, our product, is going to be positive, isn't it? And 4 11s are 44. So there we go, bingo. And that's equal to 42. All right. Let's collect some like terms here. We've got a 7 and a 44 there. Let's put them together. 44 plus 7 is 51. So 51 minus 8a equals 42. Okay. Let's isolate our a's by getting rid of the 51. Let's take 51 away from both sides. Okay. Which leaves with minus 8a on the left, always a funny one, and 42 minus 51, which is minus 9 on the right. Okay, well, I know what minus 8 lots of a is. The question is, what do I divide minus 8 by to get 1? Well, anytime you want to get 1, you divide something by itself, don't you? So won't minus 8 divided by minus 8 be 1? Because I'm thinking about it, 8 divided by 8 is 1, isn't it? And when you divide two negatives, you get a positive answer. So I reckon minus 8 divided by minus 8, minus 8a divided by minus 8 will give me 1 lot of a. And if I divide the other side by minus 8, what do I get? Well, a minus divided by a minus is a plus, so our answer is going to be positive. And how many 8s go into 9? 1, remainder 1, right? And so it's 1 and 1/8. So a is going to be equal to 1 and 1/8. A little bit more complicated there because we have a negative value for a, but not unmanageable. Just remember that you always want to end up with 1a or 1x or 1y or whatever it is. So you just divide however many multiples of a or x you have by that number itself, because any number divided by itself will always be 1. So if you have, as you have here, minus 8 lots of a, divide it by minus 8, and that'll give you 1. There we go. Fantastic. That's solving equations which have brackets in. Remember, do everything in the right order. Don't rush it and do the 7 minus 4 first. That'll be a mistake. Multiply out the brackets first, and then deal with any simplifying or collecting of like terms subsequently. All right. That's solving equations which contain brackets.